Good morning everyone, welcome to a new Super 69 EV film. My name is Tom and today I wanted to talk to you about slowing sales because I really like to do these more in-depth features about the car market in general, and in this film I will focus mainly on the Netherlands because that's the market I know well, and also the German market because it's just across the border and a lot of cars that are in the Netherlands are being imported from Germany. We cannot deny that electric car sales aren't exactly slowing, but the production of electric cars is at a surplus at the moment. VW is in big trouble. They have the ID3 and the ID4, which are both subpar products. They're not good enough for the price. If you want an ID3 with some options, you're looking at the same price as a base Tesla Model 3, which is an infinitely better car. Also, Kia Niro or Hyundai Kona are way better. Then you have the MG4, which is way cheaper. So there are a lot of problems for Volkswagen, which I think could last a long time, and I think that VW just have to start from scratch or has to start buying technology from somewhere else. Last year the market was really tight. There weren't really any cars. A lot of people wanted them. Skoda Enyaqs were being sold at a premium, and VW ID4s were commanding new price even though they were half a year old. So things were really expensive, and that was because there just weren't no cars. If you ordered one, you would have to wait almost a year or over a year, which is too long for most of people. So what a lot of people did was just buy it at a premium and start driving. And a lot of car salespeople started to get used to the idea that an electric car would command new price or even overs, and profit margins were enormous. But then the manufacturers caught up, start flooding the market because everyone wants people to sell. All the governments want the manufacturers to sell electric cars, but now we're in this weird position where not everyone is ready to commit to an electric car, and the manufacturers are building them for as many as they can. In the Netherlands, Porsche Taycan, for example, is selling really slowly. So of course it's a really expensive car, but when they just came out, Porsche couldn't build them quick enough, and now you see that there are other cars that bring good tech to the market at a reasonable price, and there are plenty cars. I was looking into a Kia EV6 this time last year, and the Kia EV6, I really liked the car. The GT was announced but wasn't on the market yet. And when I was looking at them, there were around 50 or 60 cars for sale in the Netherlands. When I looked this weekend, there were over 300. So, and then I'm talking about physical cars that are in dealer showrooms that are available. I saw at the beginning of this year, when the Kia EV6 GTs were started to being delivered, I saw they commanded premiums like 5,000 or 6,000 euros over, and I see that you can now buy them with almost the same mileage and half a year old for around 63. In Germany, prices start at 62. New price is around 70. So those prices are softening as well. i4s are plenty in the market at the moment, which is good, I think, because cars in demand. But the iX, there's a surplus of cars. Ford cannot sell a Mach-E, it seems. And there are other cars as well. But what the problem is in the Netherlands at least, our government isn't really being clear on what they are going to do. If you buy an electric car in the Netherlands right now, you don't pay any road tax. And in 2024 you won't pay any road tax. In 2025 you will get a 75% discount. But from 2026 on, you will pay full price road tax. And that will be measured from a petrol car. But the weird thing is, you get this situation where someone who wants to do the right thing to buy an electric car and drives a lot in the city, for example, is being penalized because if we take the Peugeot 208, for example, a Peugeot 208 weighs, let's say, 1,100 kilos. And a E208 weighs 1,300 kilos, which costs around 15 to 20 euros more a month to tax. And that's, of course, if you drive a lot of kilometers, that's no problem at all, because you'll make it up in driving on electricity, which is cheaper than petrol. But if you don't drive a lot and you make all your kilometers in the city, it's a proper second car, for example, you're being penalized for driving an EV, which is completely the opposite of what the government says it's want to do. So my suggestion would be, start in 2025 with the 75% discount on the road tax, increase it to 50% in 2026, take it to 75% in 2027, and leave it at that. Because at that moment you have like a really small incentive to buy an electric car over a petrol car, or you're not being penalized for it too much. And of course, if you look at i7s, EQSs, those sort of cars, road tax isn't really a big part of the buying decision, because nobody needs a 200,000 euro car, and the people that can afford those cars don't really care if the road tax is a bit higher or lower, because they just want to have that particular car, which is all well and good. But if you're on the lower end of the market and you're being penalized for buying an EV, that just doesn't add up. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But that is also one of the things that makes that a lot of people are on the fence on buying an electric car. They're not sure. They can buy a petrol car any minute. An EV is just more of a hassle. Let's be honest, it is. Petrol cars are easier to run. That's what everyone knows. Electric cars are new, are scary. You read a lot of problems with the software, and if you're planning on buying a VW product, you will probably hate software for the rest of your life. If you're buying, for example, a Mercedes or a Tesla or an MG even, or a Kia, Hyundai, you will probably learn to love software and see what Steve Jobs meant when he said software is the soul of the product. So there are new developments in the market. Toyota is claiming they got to a solid state battery, and that would probably accelerate everything. But if we just look at what is happening right now, there are being too many EVs produced. There are too many cars being built that aren't being ordered, and prices are in decline. And it could therefore be a really good time for people to get into an EV. Because if you see one for sale and you see a price on it, just ask the dealer what they could do.
Ik kan geen informatie opvragen.
Oh, shut up. Just ask the dealer if that's the final price. There are a lot of dealers all around the world who want to sell cars, and those softening prices are a thing that the normal consumer can profit from. And you should, because if you're on the fence and you're not sure, drive one. Just drive one, you'll see it's great, especially for a daily driver. And just ask your dealer what they want to do. If you step into a VW dealer right now and you're planning on buying an ID4 and ID3, you'll get a great discount, believe me, especially from cars that are in stock. If you're ordering new, maybe not so much, but trust me, there are a lot of dealers who want to get rid of those ID3s and ID4s because they're just not selling. They're just not. Second-hand Teslas, big discounts possible. There's still a lot of small independents who have Teslas for sale. They're just priced too high, and they know. But if you're in conversation and you're planning on buying such a car and you don't want to order new, or you want to drive away immediately, or you have a trade-in car, I think you could get a really good deal on one. Because Teslas are plentiful, and people who want to trade in a Tesla at the moment, they also come to expect that they get not the highest of prices for them. And because of that, lower prices are being made possible. There's only one exception, of course, which is the i3, because it's the best car in the world, and I think I could sell mine at a premium, a hefty premium. No, I'm not. I wish I could. I think if I would sell it now, I would cry. It lost a lot of its value. It's now at 54,000 kilometers, so I drove it for 40,000 kilometers already. So, yeah, you can expect that. But I think if you're a consumer and you're in the or a small, nice 911 Touring GT3. I think if you're in the position to buy a car right now, any car, any electric car, except for maybe Ioniq 5 N, because that's new. That's the price haven't even reached us, but they will be revealed shortly. Or like a Kia EV9, or the handful of cars that just aren't there yet. That are, you can order them, but they're not on the market, and there is demand for them. Those cars, probably for some time the prices will be high. But all the other cars, just ask your dealer what they can do. I can't imagine anything other than, for example, Opel. They have this new Astra electric car, which is pricier than a base Tesla Model 3, which in my mind is insane. It will probably be a good car. But I can imagine that if you like such a car, because it's a good car, of course, if you like one and you go to the Opel dealer, that the importer has a bit of money to make the prices go a bit softer. You get a bit more for your car if you trade it in, give it in part exchange, or than you would get if you would just sold it yourself. And that's also a way of selling cars. So just a small rant on the state of the market. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? How do you look at the market? I think the end of the year could get really interesting for consumers. Just putting a thought out there. Let me know what you think. I'm really curious. Thanks for watching as always, and I hope to talk to you really soon. And till next time. Bye.